Well, Amy and I are winding down our Southwest trip by going to Zion National Park. Here's one of the big dome mountains that you see going in a close-up, which is called a checkerboard, and Zion Canyon, of course, on another trip, 2014 with snow. We're now in Zion National Park, and amazingly, the road comes through a tunnel up the mountain there, way up there, and then switchbacks down. Here's the tunnel that was dug into the sandstone wall to get people down into the canyon. We checked into the La Quinta in Springdale, just outside the park, in a great setting with those mountains behind it. Here's a map showing what we did the next day, basically a hike up a portion of the Zion Canyon Narrows, which is certainly one of the more popular hikes in the park. And we had a problem getting a shuttle from the hotel to the park, but there we had a reservation on a shuttle. And here we're waiting for the shuttle with a crowd of other people, obviously. And then finally, we're riding the shuttle up the valley with these huge mountains on both sides of the road. And finally, then at the end of the line where we get off the bus and start hiking on what's called the Riverside Walk. So here we are, starting up the Riverside Walk trail to the start of the Narrows. A mile long on it, paved trail with lots of our friends. Hundreds and hundreds.
If you see a nice place to stop for lunch, I wouldn't mind having lunch too.
Okay. The beginning kind of the Narrows Trail. The Virgin River that runs through the canyon. We had lunch off the trail near the river, and this squirrel kept pestering us for food. We passed by this beautiful grotto with water seeping out from the towering cliff that rises above 2,000 feet or so. And the water forms in Virgin Creek that then runs across the trail. And then on both sides of it are these beautiful columbine wildflowers. These are the western columbines, usually with red, but sometimes with more of a orange pink. And then finally the yellow columbine, all really beautiful. And here's a prickly pear cactus we saw along the trail.
I feel like they're the kind of flower you see kind of spilling over in that.
Yeah.
And here we've reached the end of the paved trail, so we put on our water shoes and go into the water and up the river. You did good. The hike was certainly not a wilderness experience, as there were literally hundreds, really thousands of people doing this Narrows hike every day. And probably too many. The Park Service needs to require permits or somehow reduce the use to a more manageable level. Really narrows down. Here's a photograph as we go up the river of a towering peak that somewhat reminds me of the Himalayas. Here's Amy going through one of the deepest sections just after approaching it in the prior video. There's a beautiful waterfall, and some crazy guy's getting ready to rappel down. He just tossed down that yellow rope. There he is.
Up there. could be more slippery, maybe. It's kind of sliding.
Yep. And here he is at the bottom. There were 4 of them, and they had hiked and rappelled down to this point from way above. Here's a selfie of Amy and me at our turnaround point. Good job. Good job. Another selfie at the end of the Narrows. We had dinner that night at a pretty good place, Oscar's. These enchiladas were great. On our last day driving back to Las Vegas, we stopped at the Lost City Museum, which was built by the CCC in 1935 to protect an archaeological site and artifacts of some Indians who were related, at least culturally, to the ancestral Pueblans hundreds of miles to the east. Here's a drawing of their village and then an excerpt from the museum's video.
Were made of adobe mud bricks. During construction, wet puddle adobe bricks were sometimes layered with courses of stone for stability. At Lost City, the Virgin River Puebloans built only single-story buildings, many with woven willow branches coated with mud plaster, known as jacal, or wattle and daub. Nevertheless, jacal construction was practical and energy efficient.
Our last stop is in Valley of Fire State Park, 30 miles or so from Las Vegas. It's a really tortured but incredibly beautiful landscape. And we're at the trailhead for the fire trail that goes down to Fire Wave Trail. We're at the trailhead for the Fire Wave Trail, which goes down there, I think, to an area that's like the famous wave in Utah. Red and white wave colors everywhere. Only problem is here it's over 100 degrees and the signs say do not hike, and so we are following the signs of not hiking. Incredibly hot. Here's the park sign that advises against hiking because of the temperature. Our final destination is Adel Rock, which is up there. At the base there are some pretty good petroglyphs like these. Now all along this wall. But if you climb these stairs, which they built, used to be a rock set of stairs, but now metal stairs. That lead up to some really good Here's a photograph of Adel Rock. You can see the stairs over on the left side of it. And then as you climb up the stairs, this is the view, and the petroglyphs are right above it. And here's one of the petroglyphs close up. Back in Las Vegas, we had dinner at the Veg Nation restaurant. Both of us had this stacked eggplant dish sitting outside in a very nice location. Then we caught the red eye back to Knoxville, and we got to Knoxville just in time to see the sunrise.